Here's a little rant of the day, right? Why am I paying
Man, this shrinkflation is crazy. Look at this.
I'm so tired of having to buy the extra small condoms.
Wouldn't the price on those go up too?
Everyone has to downsize, man, just to save an inch.
I want the rest of these.
Damn, that's a big ass Cheeto.
Nah, shrinkflation is ridiculous because look at this donut stick I just got. Like, why is there... My hand is tiny too, y'all. Like, why is there so much air in packaging?
Ladies and gentlemen, this is $18 worth of food. How do you feel about that? They have the chicken flatbread back, so I got that. I got a cheesy burrito crunch for over $5, by the way. Crazy, ridiculous. I mean, in 2014, 2015, when I first kind of started in like the job space, I could buy a combo like with like a quesadilla combo for like $8 or $9, and now I'm like, this is not a combo, but it's $18, and then they wanted a tip on top of it to like support local college students or something. I said no, so screw you guys. Not really, but like, come on, like that's crazy. $18 worth of food.
So not only is food becoming more expensive, now it's becoming more dangerous. You've got arsenic in your rice. You've got microplastics in your cheese that clogs your blood vessels and gives you Alzheimer's. And if that wasn't enough, there's aluminum in your egg frozen products, or quiches. See, what happened is this all started back in World War II when all the guys were overseas dying for the country and all the women had to go to work so that there was less home cooking going on in the culture, and that's when TV dinners and convenience food and commodity food started to infiltrate this country. Now, instead of the way that our grandparents used to do it, which is growing gardens and cooking from scratch, now what we have is a bunch of poison and chemical and EDTA and preservatives in our food. Hey, look at me, you can trust me. I'm a fresh vegetable in the fresh section. Oh, don't mind all of this glyphosate I'm laced with. That won't wreck your gut microbiome. Oh, don't worry, petty consumer. Just do what we say. Here at the EPA and the USDA, we regulate everything so it's safe for you. And don't worry, we're not sacrificing the quality of your food and products for the profit margins. Don't worry about that. Just be blind.
Here's a little rant of the day, right? Why am I paying $140 for a subscription with Amazon when they can't even do overnight delivery anymore? Like, yeah, some of the stuff that I buy gets here the next day, but half the time it doesn't. So the reason why I'm ranting is because I was trying to buy something and I had two options. Either one, I didn't have to pay for the delivery because it'll get here a few days out, or B, I had the option to get it delivered the next day, but with a charge of $2.99. So you're telling me I'm paying $140 to get overnight free delivery just to pay it? What happened to Amazon being $99 and they actually delivered on what they promised?
Let's see, all you need is first month's $500 and a deposit of $250. Okay, word, that sounds good. I can do that, thank you. Let's see now, all you're gonna need is first and last, $850, and a deposit of $850. All right, I can still do that. Thank you. Okay, let's see here, I'm gonna need my notebook. See, all you need is 3 times the rent, okay? First and last, $1,900, deposit of $1,900, a credit score of $750 or higher, okay? No evictions in the last 12 years. Also, we have no pets, no off-street parking, no backyard, no utilities included. Late fees are $50, application fee is $65, and it's non-refundable. And you maybe need a 3rd-day job. Yeah. See, also I'm gonna need your firstborn's birth certificate, some Yahoos, and some fruit snacks. Oh, hell no. I'm all set. Thank you.
It turns out billionaires, politicians, and economists really have just been gaslighting us for the last 3 years. Yesterday, an explosive economics report was released by a think tank out of DC confirming what you and I and everyday Americans have been screaming from the rooftops for the past 3 years, that these record high price increases that we've experienced in everything from gasoline, lumber, poultry, eggs, and diapers haven't actually been being driven up by necessities, supply chain issues, COVID recovery, or labor shortages. No. It turns out that 53% of all price increases that have quite literally bankrupted middle America have now in fact been confirmed to have been driven by one singular thing: billionaire corporate greed and their record and relentless pursuit of profits.
There's a new report out today from the Groundwork Collaborative that proves that more than 50% of the current inflation that we're seeing has been caused by corporate profits. That's right, corporations being greedy jacked up prices during the pandemic. Even though their costs have been going down, they've left those record high prices up here so that they can continue raking in record profits quarter after quarter and putting the burden back onto you and me. 53% of inflation has been caused by corporate profits. Compared to over the last 40 years prior to the pandemic, profits drove only 11% of price growth. So think about that. We have corporations who are screwing us over, and it needs to stop.
If a company puts out a product and then they put that product in a certain market, and then the product sells out and everyone in that market is then buying the product, the way to make more money should not be then to raise the price of that product. The way to make more money should be find another market to sell it in, or come up with a different product to make more money. You shouldn't be able to just arbitrarily raise the prices of things just because you want to make more money when you're already selling out in all the markets. Likewise, if you as a landlord, please, if you as a landlord bought a property and that property is fully rented out and you are receiving all of the money that you can receive from that property, the way to make more money is to buy another property, not raise the rent every year. Do you understand what I'm saying? You shouldn't be able to just raise prices on stuff because it's not good. Everyone is suffering because people are being greedy. Your stuff is already selling. It's sold out. What more could you want?
Why aren't we attacking corporate profit in any way? Because that's been estimated to be 30% of inflation, 40% of inflation.
I don't think it's a tenable view that all of a sudden corporations became greedy. Of course there's monopolies in the economy, John, and we should be for
They've been
much
bragging
more
about
aggressive,
it on
much more
earnings
aggressive
calls.
than we
On their earnings calls, they're saying our profits have never been higher. We're killing it. The markups during the pandemic are sometimes they're saying 70% of what they were.
There was a huge increase in the demand for shrewd television commentary. I imagine the demand for what you do would go way up. And I imagine you convert that into higher wages and getting paid better.
You're saying it's the market at work.
I don't think you'd call yourself a gouger when you...
I would absolutely call myself a gouger.
When you did that.
And by the way, the effect of the talk show business is very different than the effect of ExxonMobil, right? I mean, let's be fair.
Isn't the show going to be on Apple TV?
Correct.
And I think Apple TV is worth about 5 times as much as Exxon. I think Apple's price, since the stimulus began, Apple's value has gone up by about $1.2 trillion.
Right.
That's $4,000 for every American. Just an increase in the value of Apple.
You just made my point for me.
Do you feel that Apple is somehow gouging or doing something wrong?
Yes, of course. And Exxon is, and Mobil is.
Let's talk about Apple. Let's talk about Apple. Do you think Apple should just sell phones for less and not have enough phones? What would you have Apple do?
You're saying to me, John, market forces are market forces. And if demand goes up, are you suggesting, young man, that Apple should charge less than they could charge? Let me flip that on you. When there's a tightness in the labor market, what you're saying is the workers shouldn't do the same. That the workers, just following the same capitalistic principles that allow Apple to charge more for their phones, shouldn't charge more because wage inflation is driving inflation.
That's not at all what I'm saying, John.
That's exactly what you're saying.
So, everyone is trying to say that in California, milk is under $5, and this is proof that I was right, that milk is almost $7 or above. I was not lying. I live in Northern California. This is the proof of the price of milk right now, which is absolutely freaking ridiculous. Even the small ones. Obviously this is the special milk, but this, what is this? Basic milk, $3 for the cheap one, $4 for these ones, but $8.98.
Some blood money for you. You want some more? Here's some more. Crawl for it. Go ahead, crawl for it. Actually, I need that back.
Excuse me, do you have dates from Palestine? And do you have peanuts from Congo? These are from Is Not Real. And do you have coffee from Yemen? We're boycotting Starsucks. And what about black pepper from Sudan? And do you have spices from South Africa? What is this? Sabra hummus? Ryan, didn't your mama tell you that we're boycotting Sabra hummus? It's from Is Not Real. Get out of here.